The fans want to see blood, sweat, and tears. He's always in tremendous fights, and he's a very exciting knockout artist. And that's what boxing is about. It's about giving the people and the fans what they want to see.
Just coming up in weight. He came up in weight to him. I don't see. Honestly, I don't see him. He's a good fighter, but I don't see. He's nothing in his past.
Saying have a fight, yes, but have it at 140. Fighting anyone at 140 would be more exciting than.
Floyd Mayweather analyzed the matchup between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach, highlighting Davis's power, speed, and experience. While he acknowledges Roach's skill, Mayweather believes he lacks the strength to withstand Davis's relentless pressure and knockout ability.
But I must say this, the most exciting fighter that's acting and fighting in boxing right now is Gervonta Tank Davis. When Gervonta Tank Davis go out there and fight, he reminds me of Pretty Boy Floyd. Because Pretty Boy Floyd, you couldn't go get no popcorn. You couldn't go get no soda. You couldn't go get no candy. You don't.
Renowned boxing analyst Al Bernstein has expressed skepticism about Lamont Roach's chances of defeating Gervonta Davis. Bernstein notes that Roach's past performances don't demonstrate the power needed to overcome a dominant opponent like Davis, who holds an impressive record and multiple championships. This perspective has led many to question the competitiveness of the upcoming fight.
About the big one coming up in a month, another guy you called several of his fights, Gervonta Davis, fighting Lamont Roach, is a significant favorite. Do you think Roach is being undervalued as an underdog, or it will probably go the way people think it will go?
Nothing in his past tells me he's going to beat Gervonta Davis or even be competitive with him. And I'm not. It's not a denigration of Lamont Roach. He's a good fighter. He won a title at a lower weight. And that was a surprise to some people that he did get, even though he was a good prospect. So it's just hard to imagine him beating Davis.
The other Davis is fighting for a world title 2 weeks before in New York against Baranchik.
Oh, yeah, Keyshawn Davis, yeah.
Yeah.
The upcoming fight between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach has sparked mixed reactions, with some dismissing it as a cherry-pick due to Roach moving up to 130 olds. Former pro boxer Dawood Bey breaks down the matchup, highlighting the rich boxing history of Washington, D.C., and Baltimore. He believes Roach's camp is strong and expects a competitive fight rather than an easy win for Davis. Bey also acknowledges Davis's standing in the sport, noting that criticism is inevitable unless he faces top names like Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney. He predicts an exciting showdown for the DMV region.
Gervonta Davis, Lamont Roach. A lot of people shitting on the fight. A lot of people saying it's a cherry pick. A lot of people saying that, or criticizing Tank for bringing Lamont up to 130. What's your thoughts on that?
I think if you understand the history, right, I wouldn't see none of them coming and laying down and then Tank is Tank. I think you're going to get a DMV classic. Like, you're going to get a good fight. They're going to fight each other. Lamont going to fight Tank. I'm out there to lay down. So, I don't know. I mean, people going to criticize you no matter what, though, once you get in, like, tank position. It don't really matter what you do. Like, if you wasn't fighting, like, Shakur or Devin right now in this next fight, it's probably, like, 3 people he could be fighting, and nobody wouldn't have nothing to say. Like Tiafimo, yeah. Somebody gonna say like it's a cherry pick or everything. I mean, everybody's a cherry pick.
The boxing community has raised concerns over Gervonta Davis's decision to face Lamont Roach as his next opponent. Critics argue that Davis is steering clear of tougher challenges against elite contenders like Shakur Stevenson. Choosing Roach, who is seen as a less formidable opponent, has led to accusations of cherry-picking and fueled debates about Davis's willingness to prove himself against the best in the division.
At the 135 will probably be Gervonta Tank Davis. But the most skillful fighter, exciting, very tough, and he fought everybody. And Shakur is trying to do the same thing. He want to fight the best they got out there. He's asking, can he fight the best? We can come together and I can take him to that next level. and give him the fights that he wants.
Despite being a world champion, Lamont Roach remains relatively unknown to the broader public, fueling the perception that Gervonta Davis has taken an easy fight. However, Roach's supporters argue that his underdog status could work in his favor, as opponents might underestimate his abilities. Boxing analyst Shields recognizes Roach's potential, but emphasizes Davis's proven track record and formidable skill set.
So Lamont Roach is a good fighter, but and I'm happy to see a fighter like Lamont Roach, who's had to come up the blue-collar way, get a big opportunity, get a big payday. But now that I've said that, it's an underwhelming fight, and everybody's saying that because it's true. And this is a fight that would have made more sense for Gervonta Davis a couple years ago, back when guests tried to come at my throat. I get it. Lomachenko walked away from the table. Of course, that's after, some years earlier of Tank saying he wasn't interested in that fight. Fight was never officially negotiated by Top Rank or PBC, but for years, Gervonta had no real intention of fighting Lomachenko, and really is opting more the Williams Zepeda route. I understand that Teofimo Lopez has only really called Davis out once the Lamont Roach fight was really being talked about around Canelo Berlanga fight week and was close.
De La Hoya agrees, calling Gervonta Davis a beast and acknowledging that while Roach is a skilled fighter, facing Davis will be a daunting challenge that could result in a tough night for him.
I think Lamont Roach is a terrific fighter. He might be a little over his head with Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is, to say the least, he's a beast. He really is. He's a tremendous fighter. He's a dedicated fighter when it comes to training and fighting and making sure that he's in optimal conditions when he steps inside that squared circle. He's sneaky good, which means he can catch you at any time. He can land combinations sometimes at will without you even knowing it. He's that sneaky. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. But obviously Gervonta Davis has the experience. He has the knowledge. He has that mean streak in him that will take you out.
Gervonta Davis has recently revealed his plans to retire by the end of 2025, citing personal reasons, a desire to focus on his family, and concerns about his mental health. This unexpected announcement has sparked discussions within the boxing world, with many speculating that his decision is influencing the selection of his opponents.
Here's my take on the fight. Everything is true about this situation. One, Gervonta Tank Davis was being ducked. Lead me if that was true. Either way, for whatever reason, El Rayo fell apart. The options were getting diabolical. All right, I understand that. At the same time, Lamont Roach versus Tank is trash. If Devin Haney announced he was fighting Lamont Roach coming up from 130 next, at 135, I'll say that shit's trash. Let me tell you this.
His upcoming fight against Lamont Roach has drawn criticism, with some labeling it as an easy matchup rather than a true test of his abilities. Despite the skepticism, Davis remains one of the most dominant fighters in the sport, boasting a flawless record and a reputation for devastating knockouts. While Roach is a respected world champion, he lacks the star power and proven track record of other potential opponents such as Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney. Critics argue that if Davis is truly planning to retire soon, he should seek out legacy-defining fights rather than bouts perceived as low risk. However, some believe Roach's underdog status could work in his favor, as he may be underestimated. Whether Davis is winding down his career or preparing for a final statement, this fight will play a crucial role in shaping his legacy before his anticipated retirement.